Hey y'all, hey, happy Wednesday. I do want to go ahead and tell you that I love you and that I do care about you. I also want you to have a wonderful day today. Hey, I just want to encourage you. Yesterday one of my students said something that was so crazy. I'm a barber cosmetologist instructor, if you don't know, but one of my students said something crazy. She said, I was doing real good and then I got hooked on drugs and I just feel bad, and I looked at her and I smiled and I gave her a high five, and she said, "What is this for?" I said, let me tell you something. I said, everybody has a story. Everybody has a testimony. Everybody used to be an ex something. Whether you was an ex alcoholic, an ex drug addict, an ex liar, an ex cheater, anything. Everybody was an ex something. And I said, the beautiful part about your story is that you didn't allow for that to stop you from becoming who you wanted to be and developing into who you want to be. I say you taking that stepping stone to be a barber cosmetologist is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I said people overcome from so many different things and they are afraid to share their story. And I said, and thank you for sharing your testimony. I said, because some people may frown upon it. I said, but me, I'm a smile on it. And I said, I want to high five you and tell you congratulations and have a good, and you did a good job. She smiled so big and she said, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. I said, yeah. I said, sometimes you got to think back on how far you've actually come in your life. You have to think back on how far you've progressed. Because once upon a time, Raquel was an angry young lady. Yes, I am Raquel. I was so angry. I was so mad at the world. I was so pissed off. I was so mean. And the only reason why I was because my mental health was not okay, and I did not get the help that I needed because I was suppressing trauma from my life, from my childhood, from things that may have happened to me. And one day I went and got some help. I say all of this to say everybody has a story, everybody has a testimony. And on top of that, everybody has overcome something. I don't care if you think that your overcoming moment may be too little or too small, but remind yourself you've overcome something, something to be proud of. All right? Remind yourself today. I love you.